Swaminathan, sir. I welcome back the August gathering. Education is no exception in the world that changes with technology. Before moving on to the next session, I request Dr. N. Shivakumar, Assistant Professor of Department of Commerce, CA, for a pleasant task of introducing this session speaker, Mr. V. Gopi Swaminathan.
Good afternoon to all. I am very happy to introduce our chief guest, Mr. V. Gopi Swaminathan. It is only when they go wrong that machines remind you how powerful they are. Here, amidst us, we have a man of technology, an expert of e-governance being Mr. V. Gopi Swaminathan. Mr. Gopi Swaminathan is a Senior Technical Director, Additional State Informatic Officer, NIC, Puducherry, with more than 25 years experience in e-commerce. Mr. Gopi Swaminathan has been aiding in the government's strategic planning process by allowing them to precisely define their objectives, aims, programs, and projects that facilitate improving planning, budgeting, and overall decision making. Management by increasing access to relevant data at all levels of implementation through e-governance. E-governance helps to provide comprehensive database that aids policymaker in the design, formulation and evaluation of policies, helping in the coordination of formulation, development and implementation of specialized software projects for e-governance. The major projects that Mr. Gopi Swaminathan was associated with, the electricity billing to the domestic and industrial consumers through online for Puducherry. The system caters to counter payments, internet payments and UPI payments through mobile apps. Taxation services, revenue earning services like property tax, trade licenses, user charges and professional tax are made online. Tax assessee can pay their tax and charges through online by web or mobile platform. A significant development was Unified Data Hub, a social security database of Puducherry for online validation, deduplication and cross-referencing. A one-stop database for all the eligible beneficiaries to both central and state schemes. Mr. Gopi Swaminathan was achiever of the following awards. National Award for Election for the IT Best Practices of the year 2017. Won E-India Best Project Award with the use of Smart Card based PDS for the year 2016. Won State Award for the Conduct of Elections in the year 2021. Welcome you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Where flowers, so does hope. May I now invite Mr. C. Julian Yanadas, Head, Department of Management Science, to do the honor to the guest of this session by presenting him with a bouquet and a memento. Our technologized society is as technology becomes more ubiquitous and our relationship with digital devices ever more seamless. Our technical infrastructure seems to be increasingly intangible. As the title of the event states, let's welcome Mr. V. Gopi Swaminathan, sir, to walk through on enabling technologies in educational institutions, Industry 5.0.
So, respected principal, respected Professor, Mr. Julian Yanadas, respected professors, and my dear students, it's indeed a great pleasure to be with you on this memorable day commemorating the Silver Jubilee celebrations of Sri Krishna Arts and Science College. I congratulate on this occasion the management, chairperson, managing trustee, all the officers, administrative officers, principal, professors and students for this great milestone, and I wish the institutions to way forward for more to achieve. And it is really a great thing to see the ranking, NIRF ranking, as well as the awards, what you get for the great performance with such institutions. So before we get into this speech, particularly on the enabling technologies, I would like to say a few things. One is, it is not the technology, it is not the innovation, it is not the research alone going to contribute the revolution which is going to make Industries 5. It is the pursuit of excellence, and I'm sure this institution will definitely achieve this with the help of, with a great commitment on this part. Now let us get into the presentation part. Next slide, please. So what is this Industries revolution? This we started years back with Industry 1. We call that as Industry Revolution 1, where we started automating with the help of mechanization with water power and solar power, and then we moved on. Okay, the trend, we moved on to electricity-based automation, and only during that time we started working on the mass production, as well as we saw assembly lines. And in the third revolution, we started introducing the computers, and computer automation came into existence. And now we are in the fourth revolution, where we talk about cyber physical systems. Cyber physical systems comprises not only the computer, not only the systems, it also involves the various gadgets like IoT, like technologies like artificial intelligence, big data. Okay, now we are moving to the extension of this Industry 4, that is what we call it as Industry 5, where we talk about mass customization and cyber physical cognitive systems. That means, again, machines are going to come back to you for sharing your human intelligence, for more and more contribution and participation with the human. Okay, next slide. So here, in Industry 5, we are going for more skilled jobs. Okay, we in the Industry 4, what we saw is we were actually going for more and more automation part, but at the same time, we are now moving towards more skilled jobs, because now skilled people on a particular domain are going to share their profession with the help of machines. So machines are going to be part of their profession, and they focus mainly on the mass customization. What is this mass customization? Where human will be guiding the robot. Mass customization means you are delivering a product, but with the help of the existing Industry 4, what we do is we manufacture products in a great volume. But what we are trying to do is we are based on the customer's experience. In the Industry 5 revolution, we are going to have customization based on the customer's experience. That is the major difference between Industry 4 and Industry 5. Okay, and basically industry robots are going to be work as in a collaborative way. That is why we call it as, not as a robo, we call it as cobots. Okay, cobots are going basically what? Collaborative robots. Okay, there is a difference. There is a distinct difference between a robo and a cobot. Okay, and Industry 4, though it focuses more on the CPS connectivity, that is computer physics, cyber physical connectivity. Industry 5 links to relationship between collaborative robots. And another interesting thing is, in Industry 5, we give more thrust and importance to the greener revolution. We try to minimize the electricity. We try to optimize our energy consumption. We give a lot of importance to that. So Industry 5 have a major importance, particularly with respect to the energy consumption and energy conservation. And Industry 5 is going to use predictive analytics. There are a lot of analytics, I hope you all know. Particularly, we have some specialization in data analytics. We have descriptive analytics. Okay, we have predictive analytics. We have cognitive analytics. So like that, this predictive analytics and operating intelligence, it will create models. That model will be more accurate and less unstable decisions, making more accurate and unstable decisions. But in Industry 5, there is one more thing. You get the real-time data obtained from machines in collaboration with high-equipped specialists. So specialists, a combination of specialists and the result, real-time data obtained from machines are going to be the major role with respect to Industry 5. Next slide. Industry 5 basically builds on the foundation what we have made with Industry 4. Now what we have artificial intelligence in existence, we have IoT in existence, we have big data is in existence. Now all the key components of Industry 4 are going to share their their domain expertise along with the human contribution, intellectual professionals' contribution to these missions. So here I just want to mention one thing about the cobots. Cobots are designed to work in sync with human employees. They are not separate. They are going to work in sync with employees. So the combination of the mechanical muscles given to the human brain, it is going to boost the space and the development of numerous operations for Industry 5. So robo play a very significant role. Already we are able to see robo in many applications, even day-to-day applications, in very popular applications, which is going around in WhatsApp. There are some interesting applications like you would have seen in Tirupati Devasthanam. They are making mass laddu preparations. Okay, with the help of robots. Earlier they were doing it manual. Now they are able to make use of machines. And if you're in many temples, the people started using robo for making chapatis and all. It's quite interesting to see such things where robo was started use. We are able to use it in our day-to-day life. Okay. Apart from that, next slide. We also have, apart from robo, we also have IoT. This IoT is comprised of every little gadgets that we are connecting it online. Our mobile phone is also a part of IoT. And now we are getting some devices like smart watch, okay? And in particularly people are in healthcare, they were able to see a lot of new gadgets to detect our pulse, to detect our heartbeats. So many applications, people started using it in the healthcare industries. Visibly, we are able to see many IoT devices. So the major challenge in IoT is, suppose we are going to gather mass information. We are getting more and more volume of information, particularly with respect to various gadgets, which is distributed over IoT. Okay, we call that as big data. The big data basically will have both structured and as well as the unstructured data. But for all these data are going to be valuable for us. Why? Because we are going to apply all this data to sort. I want to sort it date-wise, or I want to sort it by the institution source of data-wise, or I want to sort it with respect to a particular problem. So when I have a huge volume of data, I need to analyze this data. For that purpose, now we have the great player who already started working on it. He is nothing but the artificial intelligence. So the artificial intelligence, basically what it will do, it can take any massive data. It can take any massive data, but if you start putting some very complex problem to find a solution, artificial intelligence came into existence for giving us a very, very reliable solution or very reliable, answer to many such questions which are posed with the help of the big volume of data, what we call it as big data. That is why we say that artificial intelligence find the needle from hashtag. Okay, நம்ம தமிழ்ல சொல்றோம் இல்லீங்களா, ஒரு வைக்க பொருளை ஊசி எங்க இருக்குன்னு தேடுறது எவ்வளவு கஷ்டம் இல்லையா? So in the same way, we are able to, with the help of artificial intelligence technology, when you have a huge volume of data, you apply a problem, artificial intelligence very easily can collect or retrieve a reliable and accurate answer, precise answer for all your questions. That is the way we are using the artificial intelligence. The very simple, there are some simple applications what you have, some search engines, you can see Google kind of thing. They also use artificial intelligence. And your mobile, in your mobile, before you start, in fact, that is a menace nowadays, you are finding it, autocorrect feature. So it tries to find what exactly you are looking for. Before you start typing it, it gives you a phrase, a word, isn't it? So that kind of analysis, that kind of applications, you are able to see with the help of artificial intelligence. Okay, so artificial intelligence, big data, IoT, they are the great players who share their valuable power and to make it more powerful in the Industry 4 revolution. But when you come for Industry 5, we are going to utilize the human brain for mass customization with the help of these technologies. That is where we have to draw the line. Industry 4 and Industry 5. Industry 5 basically it is an extension of Industry 4. Okay. So smart manufacturing, next slide please. Smart manufacturing is basically, we talk about all these elements combined and you have everything, when you have everything working in harmony, now you are moving into Industry 5. That is the place where we are actually seeing the revolution, Industry 5. When all works in harmony, that means what? When all they are able to work, participate, contribute for your problem, then comes the evolution of Industry 5. So for what you are doing it as a solution for any particular industrial automation. But now they are going to combine and give you a reliable answer for a major requirement for the industries. Okay. So now here, because that is why you take the nuggets of inputs, insight of from the big data, and then whatever you gather from the IoT machines, devices. Now what you can do is the human can make some informed decisions. You have a well-informed decisions and you can make those decisions apply to cobots. The cobots, what it will do, it will work for you to give some efficient result. That means you will see in industry, so far you are seeing robot as a separate machine running in the industry, in some assembly line systems or in a specific area, what it is shared or dedicated to that. But now with the help of cobots will be sitting next to you or moving with you. Okay, but cobot, we are going to share some information to them and in turn cobot will share to the human. That is a major difference. Okay, I'll give you some major difference between what is cobot and what is a robot. Okay, so basically in layman term, people can make better decision based on the data directly from the consumer. So now what you see that when you are working with Amazon, or when you are working with any major IT applications, what you see in net, after you make use of it, you finally what you do that, you get a separate screen for customer experience, because that is going to be very vital. It is going to be a important data for the solution provider. So the customer's feedback, it is going to, based on the customer feedback, if you are going to have any real-time solution, then that is what we call it as the mass customization. Here in the Industry 4, there is no scope for mass customization because you don't have direct interaction with the customer. But now with the help of the evolution, Industry 5 evolution, since you are already, your big data is there, your your IoT is there, and your artificial intelligence applications are there. It is going to give some real-time problem for you, for which the human will make some efficient, the human operators can make any informed decisions. Okay, so that is the major criteria which is going to decide the revolution in Industry 5. Okay, next slide. So a typical, what you see there, how an industry, in Industry Revolution 5, how a factory or industry, you can see that. You will see a predictive machine analytics as part of your industry, and you also see, you could see the cobots there. Okay, and you can also see unmanned trucks with wearables. So people with wearables is basically what? It is net connected, and it has, it's well programmed, and it will relay the data from the actual premises or wherever they move. Okay, so wearable is there, unmanned trucks are there, computer visions is there, cobot is there, and the system, the entire system is going to work in a blockchain based solution. Okay, and you have some predictive machine analytics are also part of it. So you have these technologies which is going to be the future of factories. Okay, all these components will be there in major factories. Already in most of the factories you are seeing some computer based solutions, robots are there, but these are going to be minimum prerequisite or a kind of mandatory requirement in the factories. Next slide. So I'm just drawing a line between what is the difference between Industry 4 and 5. In Industry 4, the basic infrastructure are going to be the Internet of Things, not in IoT, Internet of Things, where we have the 3 C's: connect, compute, and communicate. This builds the infrastructure, the basic requirement, over which we have cyber physical system. Again, we have compute, communicate, and control. These cyber physical systems will work on the basic Internet of Things. They start giving the data, or they start accepting the data. Now, based on which you can build some application, we call it, these applications are going to be part of your smart factory. Smart factory, a factory and a smart factory. A factory is there in a normal situation, it will make some produce, and it will have a standard set of operations. Whereas in the smart factory, you will have cyber physical smart production systems. So, which is connected with the computer system. Not only that, cobots will be part of it, and you have a solution based on the artificial intelligence and the IoTs. And moreover, cobots are going to be part of it. Okay. So, what are the services you can provide from Industry 5? All the services are going to be internet-based services. So internet services are going to build on these 3 in Industry 4. But the added components, the added feature in Industry 5 are the basic 3 things. One is the sustainable. That means it leads action on sustainability, and well-defined planet boundaries will be there. And then you have resilience feature. That resilient is one of the major things which we talk about during COVID. In COVID, we were talking about the complete halt in our day-to-day life. We are unable to move to college. We are unable to go to our offices. We are unable to move from one place to another. It's all because of the limitation what we had due to COVID compliance. Okay. But during even that time, how to recover from such situations, unexpected situation. This is one of the situations what we had with respect to pandemic situation. But apart from pandemic situation, there are also various instances, circumstances where you need to recover. Okay, in cyber, in the cyber world, you always have the threat. There could be various reasons due to which your entire operation may come to a halt. So under that situation, how you recover? So that is called resilience. And apart from that, it is also human-centric. In Industry 4, we mainly talk about the machines, but this again is coming towards human. So it is human-centric, because cobots are going to work with human in Industry 5. Next slide, please. Now, With this, a small background of the enabling technologies, let us move to Education 5. What is this Education 5? How we are going to have our education sector. Next slide, please. Okay, where, like how we had our industries, our education sector also had its own evolution. It all started with Education 1, where we basically had classrooms environment, and in the classrooms environment, we were talking about lectures. There was a one-way communication. It was a series of lectures from your professors and lecturers, and then we were asked to memorize so many things. The one who have the memory power, he'll be considered as a brilliant, isn't it? More and more memorization was the need of the hour. That was the situation in Industry 1. Then we moved to Industry 2, where we started internet-based education. We started getting some internet-based education, okay, where materials were made available over net. We started downloading some documents. We started working on certain documents. We were seeing some websites which was giving some resources. Okay, that was the Industry 2. Then we moved to Industry 3, that is knowledge-based education. We were able to get a lot of knowledge. So, no issue. You take any topic, either it's an obsolete topic or it can be an evolving topic. Whatever be the topic, whatever be the subject, you get the adequate knowledge. Whatever the knowledge, you try to get the input from the experts. So that was the new trend which was given in the Education 3. And now we are going towards innovation-based education, that is Education 4. And the future is going to be more, we are going to talk about ethics and humanism, because as more and more we are making ourselves transparent to the cyber world, there is always a threat. Okay, there is always a threat for our privacy, for our security. Okay, so each one who is going to be part of this internet in the education, it is not only restricted to a certain domain, it is going to be applied, okay, uniform across all the sectors. We are going to stress more on the ethics and humanism. That is the evolution of Education 5. Next slide, please. So here in the education, mainly we talk about 7 major requirements. One is the strategy. What is the strategy in Education 5? Education basically requires a strategy to define what is the key purpose and objective of education offers. What I am going to get? Suppose I am studying BTech Civil. What I am going to get it? What is the strategy of that subject? What is the strategy of the degree? What is the strategy on the completion of the 4 years? What I am going to do? So strategy should be well defined in Industry 5. So this strategy always will try to identify who are all the collaborators. So I am going to promote collaboration, basically creating effective learning ecosystem, engaging all the key stakeholders. So I may be, suppose I take civil engineering, I need experts, details about the latest infrastructure happenings. I need details about the experts who are working on such events. I need solutions, latest solutions, which is distributed across the world. Okay, so I need so many things. I can't be just like a bookworm, reading the books and getting the degree. When I go out to the factory, when I go out to the industry, industry needs more knowledge about how you collaborated with the industry, how your education has collaborated with the industry key stakeholders. Content, the content of your education, whatever you study, that also will decide. That also is going to be decided. So that is, content is always depends upon the strategy what you are going to have. So it requires special attention to the ethics, social inclusion, diversity, sustainability, etc. Learning environment. Okay, learning environment. Whatever the discipline you are making, studying, say for example, civil or mechanical or computer science or electronics, the learning environment best serves the specific objectives what you have chosen in your strategy. So the learning environment, not only your classroom, it also involves stimulating multidisciplinary orientation. How you participate in various colloquium or in your competitions, what you have. Okay, you have to be more and more creative. You have to work towards some innovations. So that is why in the industry, in the education 5, we talk more about the learning environment. The learning environment should give a way, pave way for having more multidisciplinary orientation, design thinking, team spirits, very important. You should work like a team. And the team members should have contributions, equal contributions towards a solution for a problem. Okay, and the team spirit is very important. Risk-taking behavior and experimental approaches are to be groomed in the institution level. Because these are the things basically what our factory, that is your industry, is looking for. They are not merely looking for your CGPA. They also look for your attitude, okay, your attitude and your skills. And then your delivery mechanisms, assessment and quality assurance. These are all part of education. 5, next slide please. Now here, learning, like our industries, learning also had its own evolution. If you see, the first testing machines came into existence in 1924 itself. I saw a very interesting article about the history of e-learning. The evolution started in 1924. Now we talk about the social and online learning, but the foundation laid in 1924, where the first testing machine was created. I could imagine the innovation, what that scientists would have had in creating their testing machines. And before the existence of the testing machines, how our students would have thought about having such machine. Okay. Then came the first teaching machine. Then in 1960s, slowly people started introducing computers. Then your computer-aided machines for schools, and then mouse came into existence. Before mouse, our only interaction with the computer was the keyboards, okay, and punching machine. But now, after mouse came your graphical user environment interface, GUI. We call it as GUI. GUI came into existence. Then came Windows, Mac machines, okay. Then suddenly we moved to, like a storm, we moved to internet. Within a very short span, we were able to get many of our e-learning gadgets as well as solutions with the help of e-learning. Okay. So the evolution, see how it got evolved. That evolution is basically an innovation with all struggles they had in the earlier times. And if you look at the right slide, you can see what are the digital skills in the education, what it demands. Some of the major requirements in the education 4 is the creativity. If you see, look at the third point, number 3, creativity. Creativity is very important, particularly for this education sector. It is because you are not run-of-the-mill kind of thing. You need to have some creativity to identify a solution. It may look absurd. In your classrooms, try to be interactive, try to raise your queries and start answering whatever you think about a particular problem. In the initial stage, it could be absurd. But when you start working on the creativity part, it will slowly help you to have your own ingenuity and start building your own intelligence in approaching a particular problem. That will help you in your future, particularly in your real-time problems, what you are going to have it in when you start working in industries. Okay. Then another major thing what we are going to tell about is how you are going to handle your emotional intelligence. Point number 6. That is another major thing which is being discussed about in the industry. People who have the attitude to handle their emotional intelligence are much preferred than highly intelligent or high scoring students. Okay. Let us move to the next slide, please. Now, I just want to highlight some new technologies. Okay, these new technologies, which are also going to play a major role in the Industry 5. Let us see one by one. I'm just going to touch upon those things. Okay, you will see in another 5 years, you will see how already you have seen the smartwatch. Already you are seeing many wearable gadgets, wearables. Like that, you will see this new technology that is nothing but digital twins. Digital twin is nothing but a physical model of the existing one. Okay. So you will have basically two representation. It is already, if you go to the YouTube, you will see a lot of twins, particularly in the healthcare. Suppose I take a medicine, or I want to diagnose how my body respond to a medicine or a treatment. I want to see that. In that case, digital twins representation, that is basically a software representation that shows very clearly how my nerves works, how my bone responds, how my muscle works, how my glands works. Like that, I am able to get a virtual representation of the physical. Okay, so that kind of solution is going to come for many problems. I'm just giving one small example, what we have particularly with healthcare, because healthcare is one area where a lot of revolutions are happening. Continuously, a lot of new things, innovations are happening. It is a very big and very ideal place to take up for major challenges. Okay. So digital twin of basically it's a unique software representation for any individual assets, systems and process that enables companies to achieve improved business outcomes. That is the definition they are giving for digital twins. So digital twins is basically a model for the existing solution. Okay. And apart from this digital twins, go to the next slide. We talk a lot about new technologies and new trends, particularly with data transmission, storage, and analysis technologies. Gone are the days where we were talking about some physical servers in a space, in a small room or in an isolated place in your institutions or industries. Now we talk about cloud infrastructure. In the cloud infrastructure, you may not know where the physical server for your application is running. Your application may run from Coimbatore, but your server may be, at present, it will be maybe in the Bhubaneswar, or from Delhi, or from Mumbai, or from Pune. And the disaster recovery setup for the cloud infrastructure may be in another nook and corner of our country. Okay, I am just saying within our country, suppose you are going to hire a cloud from an international company, enterprise, then you may not know from which country you are getting the cloud infrastructure. In the cloud infrastructure, you will not talk about servers. You will talk about virtual machines. Virtual machines. Otherwise, we shortly call it as VMs. These VMs, the major advantage is, suppose your application is going to handle a data retention for 1 year or 2 years. In that case, if your data is going to cross more than 1 TB or 2 TB of transactions, you may find it difficult to maintain the server. You have to augment your server capacity more and more, which is difficult for you at your place. But the advantage of cloud is, in the cloud, just by in a day, okay, you can increase your server capacity, you can increase your memory, or you can increase your storage, or you can increase your processing capacity, everything with the help of the virtual machines ability. So the cloud infrastructure is creating a huge revolution particularly with respect any vibrant and volume transaction systems. Apart from that, network sensors came into existence. Network sensors. Now we are able to see a lot of sensors with respect to CCTV, with respect to any surveillance. Okay, sensors are going to be more and more important, particularly where IoT applications. Then we also have cyber security, which is an emerging one. I want to give us, particularly in this presentation, I want to give more thrust to that part for students, because cyber security is getting more and more importance as we move more and more our application to cloud. Okay. And then big data management, that is another major area, emerging area. Then data processing for learning processes, and then edge computing. These are all the another area where a lot of developments are happening every day. Okay, next slide. Artificial intelligence, broadly we can classify into two. One is artificial intelligence based on the software methodology. You have built any artificial intelligence applications in your software. Even your mobile phone has I told you, autocorrection is nothing but one application. Your voice chatbots is again another application. These are all software applications which are coming in the from the artificial intelligence solution. There are other solution, we call it as embodied. Embodied is nothing but the hardware side of artificial intelligence, which is mainly used in IoTs, particularly in self-driven vehicles, assembly line robots. Okay, so there all you can see hardware side of artificial intelligence. So there again some new technologies are coming up. Almost every day you will see a lot of new updations are coming there in the artificial intelligence area. Next slide, please. Now we move to IoT. In IoT, basically you have three layers. One is the hardware part, another one is the application part, and third one is the surveillance and monitoring part. Okay, so everybody, almost you could see smartwatch everywhere, and the smartwatch is having an interface in your mobile application. In the mobile application, you are able to see how your smartwatch is continuously relaying the data. Okay, so next slide. The 7 layers of IoT we are trying to tell, where the IoT basically try to have your physical layer, we call it as things. Okay, all your devices, sensors, controllers, everything comes under that layer 1. And you build it over with the help of communications and protocols and networks in the next layer. We call it as connectivity and edge computing, over which we have the global infrastructure, because these data is going to get relayed over cloud. Because in the cloud, you have the software. Your software is running from cloud. So the cloud infrastructure is the layer 3. And from layer 3, you are going to retrieve big data, which is your layer 4. And layer 5 is the reporting, mining, machine learning, artificial intelligence applications. And then layer 6, we are going to have a lot of customized apps. Whatever the app which you are using in the mobile, it is going to come as an application. That is the 6th layer. And then transformational decisions making based on apps and data. That is the last layer. So 7 layers of IoT is represented from things to applications. Okay, next slide. This is Microsoft, the same IoT represented with the help of Microsoft stacks. Okay, so Microsoft, they differentiate the solution architecture of IoT in 3. One is the device connectivity. There, they are trying to expand it with open source, a lot of open source devices, particularly for IP capable devices, existing IoT devices, lower power devices. In the middle, we have the layer, what we call it as data processing, analytics and management, where a lot of APIs will be playing major role in that part. API I'll be telling you specifically because API skill set is one of the essential skill set which is what we are looking for in Industry 5. And then the third layer is the presentation and business connectivity layer, where we have all the solutions, business integrations, and which is what giving or delivering to the personal mobiles and the business systems. Okay. What basically, go to the next slide. Basically, we want to tell us mere reading sensor data is not the IoT. IoT is beyond that. IoT is beyond reading sensors data into a database. It has a lot of analysis. It has a lot of applications with respect to the volume of data which what we receive it from IoT. Okay. Next one. Next one. I want to touch upon the cloud and API. Cloud, I told you earlier, suppose we want to host an application. We want to develop an application. We want to make it available over internet. And we have so many gadgets which are going to be part of my application. That means you take a very popular example, your Ola or Uber application, where we are only users. We actually book a cab. But there are a lot of layers which are going to be part of it, like the cab owners, okay, facility, the facility management people. Like that, you have so many layers which are built over this a small, the app what we see, Ola app or Uber app, or many such apps. But all these are going to produce a lot of data, transactional data per day, or you can go for even per every hour. And those cases, depending on the data retention policy what you are going to have, you will be having at a time some terabytes of data in your hand for analysis as well as for decision making. So for that challenging requirement, cloud is the only solution for your problem. Okay, so cloud basically help you with a lot of solutions. One basic solution is it has enhanced security for your servers, and disaster recovery will be made much easier for all your critical applications. And you can have more and more new insights for new applications and extension of the existing applications. Okay, next slide. This is what the services provided by government cloud. Government is also having a cloud. Okay. In all the cloud terminology, you will have that AAS. What is that AAS? As service. Okay. Data analytics will be provided as a service. Okay. PaaS, platform as service, infrastructure as service, software as service, storage as a service. You can even storage is provided as a service, not as a physical device. We talk about storage as a service. Okay. We have load balancer as a service. I told you, we could not ascertain what could be my ideal computer processing power, memory requirement, storage requirement for my application. So what I can do is, I can simulate my load and I can see whether my load can be handled by the cloud infrastructure. So that is what we call it as load balancer. Load balancer is basically a combination of hardware as well as software. Then we have RM, resource monitoring. Then vulnerability assessment service. It is another critical area. Backup service, application performance management. So these are all the services which are provided for a cloud management. Okay. These are the services provided by government infrastructure. Think about the corporate clouds. They may give state-of-art solutions for various new requirements. Okay, the new requirements may be agile service, okay, load testing, data analytics, whatever the new things. Okay, so these are some of the services what you get. If suppose you don't have a cloud infrastructure, imagine you will have only physical infrastructure. We call it as server farms. Very difficult for you to maintain it, and for maintaining that, for getting such services, you have to go on buy some new clouds. Imagine I'm having a cloud architecture for a particular application running from Coimbatore, where my application will be running from Delhi, whereas this infrastructure as a service is maybe provided from Mumbai. And I can have platform as a service which can run from Chennai, and I can have my load balancer from Bangalore. That is the major advantage because of the connectivity and the flexibility the cloud architecture provides you. Okay, so cloud is going to have a major role to play in Industry 5. Next one. Big data. So when we start working on such major applications, big data comes into play here, where big data is nothing but what? It is basically large and complex data where we find it difficult to access and also analyze the breakdowns, which are too expensive. But when you have such potential hidden data, big data technologies will help you to find solution for volume of data what you have. Okay, so big data provide you the volume solution for the volume, solution for the velocity, as well as the variety of problems what we are encountering. Okay, next one. Now comes a very important topic what we are trying to mention here, API. API is one technology. I request our professors here to give more importance in your course. Let your student develop at least 3-4 APIs in their lab to get exposed. How two external databases share the data sets or send the data or receive the data kind of thing, so that they should have enough experience in handling application programming interface. It is because we are no more in the era of client-server applications. We have moved already to the major applications which is going to have multiple data servers, multiple applications, and multiple environments. So on this situation, our students should have enough experience, hands-on, particularly in the API part. And API is such an easy thing to learn. Okay, irrespective of the platform, try to give more experience to them, particularly in handling API. So API basically, API application program interface, it's open, doesn't mean that it is free. I can give it on a cost, or I can put it for a condition. I can make it available, but when I make it available, I put some condition either by cost or by the authorized user to use it. But the advantage is I can get the access to an external data. You can even go to UID site, okay, unique identity, UID, isn't it? UID is one of the greatest infrastructure created in the world to have unique ID for every individual. You will have the demographic data, biometric, your face, facial recognition, everything you put into one database for the entire country. Okay, and per day you can have lakhs and lakhs of transactions based on the authentication. So even UIDA is giving API interface for your application. If you are authorized, you can get API interface even from UID. Plenty of APIs are freely available. If you go to API Setu, students, today you please visit API Setu website of Government of India. You can see the wealth of data which is available there. You download, or you can utilize the code so that you can start using that data in your application. In your lab, make use of such APIs. In the same way, you write API to access the data. So it will be a very interesting area, and it is one of the very important area in the industry to have exposure in API. So when you are, there are a lot of internet technologies currently available. One is the SOAP, another one is REST, another one is RSS. Okay, these are the three technologies that are there. REST is a very simpler one. Anybody can pick it up in just one lab hour. Such an easy one. Okay, so open API providers are nowadays plenty. Government of India is giving API Setu, and the Government of Tamil Nadu is having wealth of data in their website. So you also start contributing APIs and start using APIs from the external database. Next slide. This is one small example I want to give. Before 2010, okay, there was one button called like, which is required in a website to use only in the Facebook to like the photos and status and comments and pages, which is still there in the Facebook. But after 2010, when API came into existence, prevalence. Okay, you can put it in any newspaper, article, or any website in your blog or something. Okay, you can easily, that information will directly comes to your database. Okay, nowadays you can see in any article, if you go to Times of India or Indian Express or Hindu, after reading the article, you just press it if you like it or if you want to share the comments or something. Don't think that the program is residing in the same server, in the same application. It will be elsewhere. The data will go to some other application through API. So there is a separate team working on it to study the feedbacks, comments, and how people are reacting to such articles. Okay, next slide. These are all some of the examples I want to give, particularly the open API companies which are using. Okay, there are some very popular companies there. For business development, you can see the Twilio. Twilio is an API company. Basically, it will give you API for business development. They can give you SMS, free SMS. Okay, then we have Netflix is there, which is basically built on API. Then product development, Twitter, it is another API based. Okay, and then supply chain management. Supply chain management is an evolving area where new and new APIs are coming up. Okay, these are all the companies which totally depend upon API technology. Without API, they can't survive. Okay, so this is open API enable companies to grow and to innovate. They are still innovating. They are finding some new things. Okay, next one. Now comes the cyber security. Another important part where I want our students to get exposed to various things which are happening in the cyber security, as well as what are the solutions currently available, where are the areas where students have to work on it. See, when we were in 80s or 70s, we were using for communication. Postcard is actually used for communication. People write it in the postcard. They will write the address, everything. During that time, nobody had a thought about the privacy. But now, when World Economic Forum has made a study this year, there are some 20 indicators. They talk about what are all the concerning areas which is going to affect our human. If you could see, somewhere in this 5th, 6th or 7th, cyber security failure is one of the major reasons for concern for the World Economic Forum. Remember from where we moved from one place to another. There, we were in 70s and 80s, we never thought about data security or information security. We were freely using the postcard. We were freely using our communication. But now, cyber security is one of the major concerns in the risky world. Apart from cyber security, there are other areas which we are talking about. But cyber security has come here as one of the major concerns of World Economic Forum. Next one. So there are different types of hacking. Because there are different types of cyber threats which are coming up. Most common cyber security issue is phishing attack. Phishing, wishing, all words are slightly punned, but they are all almost similar. They try to identify people who can easily get cheated, either through phone or through SMS or through email. Okay, they will try to divert your attention to a site where they will grab your information and try to, attack your data as well as your server or any infrastructure what you have, whatever. It all depends on how sensitive data you are handling. Okay, so there are various, we have 11 different types of cyber security threats. It all starts with phishing attack to cross-site scripting. Okay, we call it as vulnerability. Vulnerability means your application may either have one out of these 11 or all the 11. Okay, so any of these threats are there. There are professionals, we call it as hackers. These hackers, given different colors, depends on how they are hacking the websites. For example, black hat, they are the malicious hackers. They will try to spoil your content, they spoil your information, wealth of data, everything. Okay. Getting time? Yeah. How many minutes left? Thank you for reminding me. So there are hackers of different types, right? Next slide. So depending on the hacks and threats, we have different security controls. That security controls starts with protecting your asset to protecting your human layer. Human layer also is now prone to attacks with the help of cybersecurity. Okay, so next slide. These are I just want to tell about what are the different ways to protect your business. If you look at, there are various ways you can protect. For example, simple way is how you can protect your password. If you could see the end point, we talk about a new thing that is called cyber insurance. It is another emerging area which student I want you to know about it. Cyber insurance. Let us know about that insurance part. Go to that. What is the cyber insurance? It is, as the name itself suggests, it's a cyber insurance is basically a policy safeguard any individual or business firms to protect their data or their application or their infrastructure, everything. So depending on, there are various, they have various way of control to avoid hack or loss of data, because one major headache or concern is the ransomware. Even police or any cybersecurity divisions, they find it a major challenge to resolve the ransomware attacks. Next slide. So these are the ways, the risk management with the help of cyber insurance, risk management is provided as a service. There are separate software companies who work as a risk management as a service. Next slide. I just hinted how a ransomware works. Basically, ransomware they will try to get the initial access, and then they will try to consolidate and prepare how to attack, and then they will impact on the target. Once they get into the server, they get the complete control of it, and the entire system will come to a halt. Okay, there are a lot of companies, billion-dollar companies, attacked with the help of attacked by ransomwares, and they paid huge money to recover them. Okay, next. So these are the topics, cybercrime areas where concerns are there. I just want to wind up with the innovation index. Just go to the next one. Before conclusion, I just want to hint 2-3 things. One is the innovation index is the global innovation index ranking the countries. We are now in 2020, we moved in top 50. Okay. Still there are some countries which are ahead of it. Like that, Niti Aayog, our government of India's Niti Aayog is there. They prepare an evaluation. Sorry, they are also evaluating all our states. Karnataka is leading there, and we are 5th. Tamil Nadu is ranking 5th. Okay, what are the parameters? Just go to the next slide. These are the parameters by which they are evaluating, particularly with respect to the institutions, human capital and research, infrastructure, market sophistication, business sophistication, knowledge and technology outputs. These are all the key parameter indicators. Out of the key parameters indicators, India is fairly good in certain areas like market sophistication and then knowledge and technology outputs. Knowledge and technology outputs, we are standing way ahead when compared to other countries. But still, there are other countries which are ahead of us. Let us try to find what is the reason behind. Next one. Next one. These are the strengths, SWOT analysis. These are the strengths, opportunities, weakness and threats behind where we lack and where we need to move forward. Okay, next one. Yeah, these are all the trends which are coming up. Trends, the most important trend is remote work practices. No more work. Industry 5 will look on people who work in the factories in their 8 hours duty or 10 hours duty. You can work anywhere. But work from anywhere culture will come, but we are going to evaluate them, how we are going to engage them. That is going to be the major. And then data and artificial intelligence and gig economy. Gig economy means most of the employees will be hired, not recruited. We call it as hired. Hiring is basically with the help of skills, what they have. Multidisciplinary skills are going to decide the major recruitment factors. Okay, next one. Then we have people analytics, employee experience, and as I said, focus on cyber security. These are the emerging trends we have. Next one. Next one. These are all the new kind of jobs which are going to come. HR business director, chatbot facilitator, head of work from home development. These are all the new posts which we haven't seen so far. Work from home development. There will be a person who can manage and handle how we can assign the work for people working at home, and then how to extract them, how to monitor their work. So that kind of thing. And then HR data director. Next slide. Head of skill designs, head of human machine negotiation, integrations. These are all some of the new areas where people will be recruited. Next one. These are all the top skills. You require problem solving and team players. Okay? So problem solving and team players, flexibility and adaptability. Next one. Leadership skills, diversity, cultural intelligence, digital literacy and computational thinking. These are all the skills expected from the upcoming technical, the professionals. They are going to engage in the industries. Okay, so team spirit is one of the area where people are having more thrust into that. So let all our institutions give more importance to that, building team spirits and innovations. Next one. So these are the three main skills required from the students: communication skill, problem solving, and critical thinking. Given a problem, how critically you think and get the solution for such problems. That gives an edge to a particular student. Okay, next one. So these are all the technologies, predictions. Okay, there will be new focus on improving the employee experience. Employee experience will not just by number of years of experience. It all depends on how they how they approach the problem, how they resolve the problems, or how they handle the problems. All those are going to be part of the employee experience. And then upskilling needs to happen everywhere. And then HR need to find unique human place in this data and AI-driven world. So now everywhere we are going to have technology. Now HR will have a challenging thing how to put the human into that. That's why. And before conclusion, the last slide comes there. Let there be 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5. We are going to have a lot of evolution, but it all depends on these components. One is components are cyber secure. Unless if it is secure, people will have their own hesitation. Then government should support policy based on the policy decision they make. And then skill people with mindset, they also should get trained and deployed. And most of the industrial technologies owe their origins to the contribution by academia. So all the solutions basically come from the institution. So institutions play a major role there. And research and development are central to technological innovation, which drives the knowledge-based economies in the world. So let us move forward. And again, I conclude by thanking you all for giving the opportunity and patience what you had. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you all.
Thank you, sir, for walking us from mechanization, cyber physical system, to current revolutionary trend of mass customization. As you discussed customer satisfaction in the session, you also ensured student satisfaction. Every point you covered had its predictive analysis with your unique intelligence of operating it in form of your speech. Thanks again, sir. Session 5 shall begin soon. Session 5 will be valedictory and it will begin soon. The certificates for the participants will be given in the valedictory. So we request you all to stay back. Placement Officer, Sri Krishna Arts and Science College, to introduce the session's guest.
Good afternoon, all. I am delighted to introduce the man of commerce, the erudite CEO of Sri Krishna Institutions, Dr. K. Sundararaman, sir. Dr. K. Sundararaman, sir, is an academician and a leader in serving the fraternity of education for more than 49 years. He is the Chief Executive Officer of Sri Krishna Institutions since 2015. He also served as the principal for more than 10 years at Sri Krishna Arts and Science College from 2005 to 2015. Dr. Sundararaman, sir, is a strategic leader and sculpting the institution from 611 students to 8,000 students. An influential leader in implementing the e-learning platforms and other real-time learning methodologies. He was an instrumental in the transformation of capstone matrix as a unique practice in the examination assessment of Sri Krishna Arts and Science College. He also prompted novel models in launching the skill card through the Bloom's taxonomy in the transcripts of the students. An ardent researcher with an extensive experience in guiding 28 scholars with 5 published books and numerous articles to his credit. He is the chairman for Board of Studies at Bharatiyar University, as well as member of Academic Council at the top ranking institutes in India. His love for academics is never ending with his contribution as guest faculty and professional trainer in industry and academia. His contribution towards industry-academia partnership has initiated new programs focusing industry-ready graduates. His tireless efforts in relentlessly working towards realizing quality in higher education has powered for international collaborations and beyond border placements at Sri Krishna Institutions. An idealist with a vision to excel has always been the acceleration for the success. Sir, we are all yours to listen to your academic accolades and the valedictory address. Welcome you, sir.
Thank you, sir. No person was ever honored for what he received. Honor has been the reward for what he gave. I'm extremely happy to invite our beloved principal, sir, to honor our CEO, sir, Dr. K. Sundararaman. History tells us powerful people come from powerful places. No, history was wrong. Powerful people make places powerful. I'm profusely elated to call upon one such powerful person that Sri Krishna Institutions own. It's none other than our CEO, sir. Sir, we request you to deliver the valedictory address.
Most respected principal, members of faculty, student friends and faculty who has come from different colleges, and our own students. Don't worry, I won't take more than 5 minutes. I know the industry 5.0 always tells that time is a very elementary thing and very important thing in life. You have been listening to so many lectures right from morning 9:45, and it's very difficult to remember everything, especially when at 3:30 or 4, when your bus is waiting at the bus stand. So this being a valedictory section, I don't want to bore you with all technologies and whatever technology which you are going to see in the future. But I would like to tell you only a very small thing. The 21st century, you are going to transform yourself from a human being into the next stage of evolution called smart humans. Maybe in another 10 to 15 years, you can see there is a lot of changes coming in your physically, mentally, and your work culture. Now itself, you have started experiencing many things. We could able to see that everybody is having a phone in their hand, and they always look at the phone only. Even if your young wife is standing nearby, you will not look at the young wife, but you will be looking at the phone and finding out what is happening. The habit of, I've seen in many families, people will be sitting in the lobby, but everybody will be having a phone. Even a small child of 5-year-old will be looking at the phone. Your cell phone is going to be your life, which nobody can change it, because the reason is the cell phone has got a wealth of knowledge. Other human beings does not have the wealth of knowledge. They have limited knowledge. But this phone can give you a wealth of knowledge. Whatever you want, you can know about it. All of a sudden, somebody says something, you will Google it and find out what is the meaning of that. So what is wrong in looking at it? There's nothing wrong in looking at it. But if this cell phone is imbibed in your body and which is connected to your mind, there is no need to look at this phone. You can straight away recollect it from your mind, and you have a secondary device wherein which you can store all the data there, and then you can take it out whenever you want. Let me tell you a small example. Just about 15 days back, I was at Kansas City in USA. I went to a medical college. In the Kansas City, one of the best medical college, which they called me, and I went there. And where the medical students were practicing, that's a practical lab, where they are operating a patient. Patient is a dummy patient. And the medical students are not directly operating the patient. There are certain robots which are there representing the medical student. All the medical students are sitting in the next room, in the computer room. In the computer room, there is a very big screen, there's a joystick, and there's a keyboard. The students are operating the joystick and keyboard based on which the robot is operating the patient. I could able to see that each one has got a robot to operate, but the students are directly not even going inside the operation room. And whatever they do has been recorded. So after completing the operation, maybe it's a files operation or whatever it may be, they take the record of that, go to their room and study and evaluate and prepare a report and submit it to the one of the best lab I have seen, where this is how the practicals are going on there. I myself went inside the room. The body was there. Body looks like a real body, but it's not a human body. It's again a robot. So this is how the things are going. Industry 5.0 is something purely based on artificial intelligence, purely based on blockchain, as well as data driven. And all of you are already data driven, because you cannot live without a cell phone. Can you live without a cell phone? Not possible. One day it has happened 5 years back. One of the students was creating a problem. I took his cell phone and said, I am not going to give you the cell phone today. Today is a Saturday. You come on Monday morning and collect it. You know what happened? The student said, I will not move out of your room, principal's room. He said, only when you give the cell phone, I will move out. If you are not giving it today, I will stay in your room on Saturday, Sunday, and Monday morning. You give it, I will go out of the room. I said, why? Why is like this? No, sir, I can't live without a cell phone. Then what to do? I have to give it to him. Nothing else I can do. So this is what is called as digital convergence. This has to be understood by the faculty. This has to be understood by the students. But one thing which you should know, that your cell phones have got a wealth of knowledge that you have to use. Not simply going and sending, hi, how are you, happy birthday, and whether you have reached the bus stand, whether you have boarded the bus. Not that. That is okay. I'm not telling you should not do that. But the wealth of knowledge the small phone has got, which nobody can match, your teacher cannot match, your faculty cannot match, even textbook cannot match, you'll have to exploit it. Then the industry 5.0 will automatically will come. I don't know whether you have read a book. One of the best book you want to read about industry 5.0 is a book written by, I forgot the name of the person. That particular book in which he has written how everything is programmed in your body. Everything is programmed in your body. That you are going to happen. In another 5 years is going to happen. 10 years is going to happen. You are no longer a human being. Before you becoming a human being, you are from a monkey. From human being, you are going to become a smart human. And once you become a smart human, the world will be in your mind, in your body. Your body will tell you, there will be a nano machine in your body, how much you have to eat, when you have to eat, how much insulin you will have to take, everything it will program and tell you. In that case, your life is going to be prolonged to 150 years, not 80 years or 90 years. And that is going to be an education for us. You will have to get used to that. All this cloud technology, all these things is a part of that program. And it's going towards only that, the cyber security. If somebody try to hack your body, they hack your intelligence inside your body, which is in terms of a computer chip in your body. That is what's going to happen. In fact, at many universities in US, I have seen the progress is only towards that. In West Germany, the progress is only towards that. And since you are all very young people of 20 years and 21 years, maybe at the age of 40 or 50, this evolution is going to take up. So naturally, you are all going to transform yourself. Already you have done 25% of that. Balance 75% is now moving fast. And that is going to be the industry 5.0, or maybe by that time you may go to 6.0 or 7.0. Classrooms are no longer classrooms. You cannot see your teachers physically. Everything will be in remote. If you want to have your teachers, so 3D animation teacher will come into your house and she will start teaching. This is what is going to happen. In some of the universities I have seen, if you want to enter into the classroom, you should have a tablet. In the tablet, you press a button, the classroom will open. Once you go inside, the classroom will close. Only students authorized to enter can enter into that classroom. Suppose you belong to BCom A section, you can enter into only A section class. If your B section cannot enter into A section class, because automatically this programmed in your tablet, which room you can enter, which hour you can enter, which is your hour, everything is entered. Suppose your class starts at 10 o'clock, 9:59 you have to enter. If you go to 10:11, the room will not open. Everything is programmed. In Germany, it is like that. In US also, many universities are like that. So students will be running to go inside a class because just 1 second late, that class is out. This is how the world is going now. And we are also moving towards that. After pandemic, we started using many of the technologies now. These technologies in education has come. And in fact, 5.0 industry 4.0 is not complete. In fact, in CII, we have been discussing about it. Even 4.0 is not complete. But we have already started looking at the industry 5.0 in education. Why? Because we are the first to adopt the technology. The technology is invented only in universities and in research institutes. So we are the first to adopt this particular technology. And I hope all of you will become digitally intelligent, not just intelligent, digitally intelligent. And ultimately, you will adopt 5.0 much faster than the people who are working in industries, because for them it takes more time, more investment. For us, the technology is already available with us. For them, they have to develop much further in order to adopt it. But we already have the technology with us, so we can easily adopt. Wish you all the best. Thank you.
Sir, every thought you produce, anything you say, any action you do bears your signature. Thank you for imprinting it on the young minds here. One can't cross the sea merely by standing and staring at the water. With that note, we, Team SKASC, is very glad to recognize and honor few institutions that has partnered with TCS here. The representative of various institutions shall come on to the stage to receive the honors. May I request our CEO sir and Principal sir to do the honors. Here goes the list. Dr. Narasimha Ryan of Dr. NGP Arts and Science College, Coimbatore. Dr. Satyendran M. of Karpagam Academy of Higher Education, Coimbatore. Dr. Kavita KR of Sri Krishna Aditya College of Arts and Science, Coimbatore. Dr. Padmanabhan of Sri Ramakrishna College of Arts and Science, Coimbatore. Dr. Yamuna of PSG College of Arts and Science, Coimbatore. Dr. Radhamani of PSGR Krishnamal College for Women, Coimbatore. Receiving is Dr. Yamuna, PSG College of Arts and Science, Coimbatore. Thank you all. Gratitude is the healthiest of Gratitude is the healthiest of all human emotions. The more you express gratitude for what you have, the more likely you will have even more to express gratitude for. I now call upon Mr. P. Rajan, Dean, Management Science and CSHM, for the vote of thanks.
Good evening all. In fact, this is not an end of the program. This is a beginning. It's my great privilege to thank our Chairperson and Managing Trustee and Trustee Sir for nourishing these excellent institutions. So I would like to recall the story of Chinese bamboo tree. Like any plant, to flourish, the Chinese bamboo tree requires nurturing, water, fertile soil and sunshine. In the first year, there is no visible signs of activity or development. In the second year, again, no growth above the soil. And the third and fourth year, still no signs. Patience tested, and we begin to wonder if the efforts will ever be rewarded. Finally, in the fifth year, there is a growth. And what the growth it is? The Chinese bamboo tree grows 80 feet, that is nearly 30 meters in just 6 weeks. The parable of this Chinese bamboo tree teaches us lesson about patience, faith, perseverance, growth, development, importantly, the human potential. How this story is connected with SKASC, you all know. I would like to thank our CEO, sir, Dr. K. Sundaraman, for his forward thinking. A story of digital campus I'll tell. In 2005, when sir, after taking charge, sir told in 10 years, right, all the faculty in our campus will be having their own laptop and there won't be any blackboards in the classroom. All the students who join in SKAC will have a smartphone. It was said in 2005. Sir told within 10 years it will happen. After 10 years, in 2015, all the blackboards in the classes were removed, digital boards was fixed, all the students were carrying the mobile phone, the teaching and learning happened through phone. It was a digital, digitally our colleges engaged, all the teaching learning process took place in the mobile phone. So thank you, sir, your forward thinking. It has happened true, it's still happening. I would like to thank the chief guest of the day, Chandru Kodru, General Manager and Head TCS, who threw the lights on the topic disruption in the IT sector. Also, I thank CA Mr. Karthik Chandrasekhar, Senior Manager, Zinka, for enlightening us with the impact of financial performance and employer and employee perspective. Dr. Kannan Manogaran, OD and Talent Management Specialist, a young champ, he explained how the recruitment challenges with Gen Z. And Mr. Gopinath Swaminathan, Senior Technical Director, Additional State Informatic Officer NIC, for giving inputs on Industry 5.0 and educational institutions. I take this opportunity to wholeheartedly thank all the dignitaries for giving your valuable time and insights for this session. I am really out of words to say how grateful we are these wonderful sessions. I thank our beloved principal, a taskmaster and effective administrator for his support and guidance. And also I would like to thank our vice principal ma'am for his support and needy times. And I also take up this opportunity for all the academicians who've flown away from the different parts and institutions, students and faculty members. And I also thank the people from industry for accepting our invitation and coming over here and taking part in this wonderful conference. I thank the organizers, student volunteers, catering science department for the host of the lunch, technical teams, support staff, press and media, and other support members. And we will remain thank you for being at this today. Thank you one and all. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. There's an announcement before we close for the day. A QR code will be displayed on the screen. Yes, it's here. We request you to kindly scan the code and give your feedbacks. I repeat, we request you to scan the QR code on screen and give your valuable feedback. There's another announcement. Certificates will be provided for Sri Krishna Arts and Science College students or participants by their tutors. Let us all rise for national anthem.
Hindu
Thank you all. Now that we have come to the end of the day, I would like to end it with a funny note. Honesty, unity, and loyalty are very important in life, they tell. Really? We have a cup of friendship waiting over, which is also important. The high tea is our